All right, what is up, guys? UFC 330 Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Gary took place last night, and I went 4-8 on picks. And other than the co-main and main event, arguably this was a historical card. I mean, this was an amazing UFC card. I went live last night for the second time. I'm going to get better at going live during UFC events, but I went live, I think, at the beginning of the main card. I did not plan on going live until the Jalen Turner fight. I was going to go live here and watch the main three fights live. The Jalen Turner fight, Mackenzie Dern fight, and the Islam Makhachev fight. I was going to watch those live. I ended up going live for the whole main card because this card was absolutely amazing. And I went oral buy, and I lost this one. It was a good finish from Wells. So that one finished in the third round. I went Neil Magny for this one, and he got the round 2 TKO. I actually went Fernando on this one, I'm pretty sure, and he got the round 3 TKO. I went Luque here, and Gore got it. And at the end of this fight, Gore had I think he said he got like a knee or something and lost like all of his bottom teeth right here. And he was like, "Fuck that, I can get more teeth," you know. But good fight from him. Both of them had a dog in them in that fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's like one of the few fights that went to a decision on this card. I think that one and the co-main are the only ones that went to a decision, maybe. I went Eric here just because my buddy went. I don't know neither one of these fighters very well, but I have a buddy where we pick who we're going to win and see who got more right on the night of the fight. He picked Johnson, so I just picked Eric, and the second I picked Eric, he got knocked out cold. I actually picked Chapelin here because he had more recent wins than Johnson, and I'm not super familiar with Charles Johnson, but I know Chapelin was chosen by DC on The Ultimate Fighter, and DC's a legend in himself, so I figured that he would have it. But it was a catchweight at 130, I believe. It doesn't say it here, but it was a catchweight fight at 130 where Chapelin did really, really good the first round. But he landed an eye poke and an illegal knee, which kind of got him ahead, and then his cardio started to wear out, and Johnson really just put the pace on him in the last round and brought that one back. Let's see. Where did I go here? I'm pretty sure I picked Joel Alvarez for this one, and Chitty just kind of whooped his ass. He just put that shit on him the whole time. And I think this was a welterweight fight. I think Joel Alvarez is a lightweight. So his chin definitely held up well because I know Chitty has some knockouts, and he really was touching Joel Alvarez a lot. I was very surprised the damage he was taking, and he wasn't going down. He was just standing right there with it. Now, this one, I went Barbosa just because I love Barbosa. He's been around since I got into MMA, and he's a legend. But Esteban Ribovic really just put it on him. For the 7 minutes this fight was going on, Ribovic put it on Barbosa. They had like a shin-to-shin kick or something, and Barbosa's shin like split the skin open, and he was bleeding pretty bad from that. But Esteban really put it on him and got the TKO in round 2. And Edson Barboza laid down the gloves and retired. And he was very emotional. And he gave a little speech. And he was basically just saying, while he was crying, he was just saying that I just want all of you to know that my whole career I gave it everything I had. And is it just me, or did he look really good? Like the fighting didn't look amazing. But as far as like his physical condition, his skin as he's aging, like he just looked really good. I was surprised when they first came out there how good he really looked. It caught me off guard. But yeah, Ribovic put it on him and pretty much whooped his ass. Now this one, I don't know Dustin Stolfutz or Abdul Malik. I don't know either one of them very well. But My buddy that I was betting with chose Dustin, so I chose Abdul Malik. And Dustin got that dog in him, man. He really put it on him and got the submission at the end of round 2. Very, very good fight. All these fights were absolutely amazing. Fernandez and Turner, I went Turner, and Turner got it done within 40 seconds. I mean, generational performance by Jalen Turner. Now, the co-main event. I lied. There are 3 fights on this card that went to a decision. And the prelim fight that went to a decision was actually a really good, really competitive fight. These 2 kind of weren't. Jillian cannot punch her. She cannot hurt you with a punch. Like, she was out there just peppering with feather shots. I mean, 0 damage done to Mackenzie Dern on the feet. She may have gotten in a good grappling position 1 time, but that was it. It was pretty much domination by Mackenzie Dern. Almost got a submission a couple times, but Jillian got on top of Mackenzie like 2 or 3 times during the whole fight. But she couldn't really get off any ground and pound, anything, because of the way Mackenzie Dern defends. Like, she stays on her back. She keeps her feet up. She's constantly, like, pushing you away from her. She's got her feet all in your way. You're having to watch for submissions because of how good she is at jiu-jitsu. So I went for Jillian just because I'm not a huge fan of Mackenzie Dern, but Mackenzie Dern got it done, and I thought she looked pretty good. Not an extremely exciting fight, but for a women's fight, I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a good fight, and Dern got it done. On to the main event. I really have, after sleeping on it and waking up and seeing what people had to say, judging how I felt last night, my prediction was Islam Makhachev via 2nd or 3rd round Darce choke or arm triangle. He's really good at those chokes. He has multiple wins by both in his career. So that's what I was going for. Ian Gary was a lot bigger, and I don't know if he was stronger, but he was as strong as Islam in the grappling defense positions, because Islam pretty much could not do shit with the grappling. Like, Islam landed a head kick in the 2nd round where just the toes landed, and I don't think it rocked Gary that bad, but it did drop him, maybe throw him off balance or something. But that was pretty much the only thing that happened in that fight by Islam. There was like 1 judo throw and that head kick in the 2nd round. That was pretty much it. It was a bunch of standing in the middle, feints, low kicks, not doing much. I thought Islam sort of started to gas out at the end of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and in the 5th round, he ended up just getting on Gary's back, locking in a body triangle, and pretty much not doing anything from there. Now, the reason I have mixed feelings about this is because I really wanted Islam to win, because I really don't like Ian Gary. I don't like hearing him talk. Watching him fight really isn't that bad, mainly because when he's fighting, he's not talking. But I can't stand the way he talks, what he says. It's just so cringe, and I don't want him as the champion, because if he's the champion, he's gonna get more of the spotlight. But I wanted Islam to go out there and win dominantly. Like, I wanted a TKO or a submission or something that, like, set him apart. I don't think this really set Islam apart from the welterweight division. And he kind of did the same thing to JDM. He kind of just grappled, held him down, couldn't really get any submissions off. He couldn't get any submissions off against Gary. So both of his welterweight fights have kind of been the same. They're lackluster. He's not as big and powerful as he was at lightweight, where he was bigger and stronger than a lot of them. And he was also bigger and stronger than Volk, but Volk did really good in the first fight. But other than that, Gary was a lot bigger. Gary was really strong. And on the feet, it was definitely going to Gary. Gary was definitely winning the exchanges on the feet. But on the ground, Islam just kind of kept going for the single leg, getting him up against the cage, holding him there, kneeing him to the thigh. But what's crazy is at the end of the fight, Ian Gary had pretty much 0 damage to his face. He looked fresh. He didn't look tired. He looked ready to go. Makhachev did not. Makhachev in his post-fight interview was still breathing heavy. His face was all busted up. He red, swelling in the eyes. He had way more visible damage from Gary. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta give the decision to Gary just based off of that. Because you can't do that when Makhachev did control the positions most of the time. He just didn't do anything productive with the positions he was holding, is how I feel about it. I wanted more domination. I wanted him to do something that set him apart, and he did not. He won. I do think the decision was correct that he won. I just don't like the way he won. And the damage thing is a real thing because he had visible damage to his face, and Gary had none. There was no damage done to Ian Gary at all. Even in the clinch when Makhachev was in dominant position, Gary was like tip-tapping him in the face with punches, elbowing him to the body a little bit. Makhachev was kneeing him to the thigh. So as far as that, I'm happy Makhachev won because I don't want Ian to be champion. But Ian Gary's fights are definitely more entertaining than Makhachev's, and I reckon we knew that. I just kind of was spoiled with Makhachev at lightweight and getting submissions and being proactive, and I guess it's because his opponent was forcing him to. I guess Gary could have done more. If you watch Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates, Gary is like bouncing in and out, bouncing all around, lateral movement, forward back movement. He's bouncing in and out, boom, boom, boom. His striking is like so precise. In this fight, he was just standing still right in front. He was standing still right in front of Makhachev with his lead leg way out there in front of him. He was keeping that lead leg out there almost like he was asking for Islam to grab it so he could like reverse a takedown or get in a better position off the takedown. But Islam just kept going for the single leg and getting him up against the cage and kind of stalling out. And I was worried at the end of the fourth round that Islam might gas out. But then in the fifth round, he ended up taking the back and got the body triangle, and it's really hard to get out of a body triangle. So Islam just kind of held on. I guess I'm happy about it. It was very lackluster. I expected more domination. I wanted more domination. I predicted more domination, but it's kind of how the fight went with Islam, and that's how both of his fights at welterweight have gone so far, and I hate that. But I think he is a record holder now as well. He was already double champ, of course, lightweight and welterweight, but he now has the longest win streak in UFC history at 17. He was tied with Anderson Silva at 16, and this fight got him to 17. So he now has a record, and he is sealing the deal as being one of the GOATs of the UFC. So I have heard in interviews he said he wants to go to 20 and retire. He wants to get a 20-fight win streak and retire. So And for the future of welterweight, I don't know where this really takes Islam, because Islam never fights more than 2 times a year. Right now, it seems like he's fighting 1 time a year. And Gary beat Prates. Islam beat Gary. I don't know what they're going to do with Morales. Morales is not going to come out there and beat Makhachev. Even if he does, he's got to wait another 6 to 8 months, maybe 10 months for a title shot against Makhachev. So I don't really know where they go with it right now. So that's my wrap-up, and that's my reaction to UFC 330. Other than the main event and the co-main event, this was a fucking banger of a card. It was a crazy card to watch. Like I said, I started going live before I even planned on going live because it was so good. I mean, everybody bringing the dog out, submissions, knockouts. Absolutely amazing card until you get to the co-main and the main. So it is what it is sometimes, lackluster 2 fights, but I mean, I'm happy with the winners of both. Regardless of how they won, I'm happy with the winners of both. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you watched my live last night, I really hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely get better at going live, but that was my first time pretty much with the setup, and I was happy with it. And I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.